The core focus for Whatislife.blog, the podcast series, is to connect intricate moments of humanity, which thus exposes the beauty of us. We believe that all humans contain a story, and that alone is worth sharing. Welcome back to Whatislife.blog, the podcast series. I am your host, Charles Horace, and today's guest is Erick Chief. Erick, how are you feeling today?
Hi, I'm doing good. Doing great.
Right on, right on. Now, you own a business, right? What's your business called?
Yes, my business is called Chief's Auto Service LLC.
I like that. When did you guys start? When did you guys begin?
So I started this business January 2024.
Okay, so about 2 years now, almost.
It's a little bit more than 2 years, yeah.
Cool. And where are you guys located at?
So we're located in Sun City, but I'm mobile, so I can be pretty much anywhere in Arizona, pretty much depending on the job. So I can be in Tucson, I can be in Apache Junction, Kingman, Flagstaff, even on the reservation also. So I go to Winter Rock, I go to Black Mesa. Yeah, pretty much wherever the job is, I go to it.
Right on. I remember when, I was trying to find your house here, and I was like, okay, I don't know where he lives, or I couldn't really find it. But then I saw your big old vehicle, your black vehicle with the logo.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's him. So yeah, you got like a native face on there. What's the story behind that? Why'd you choose that logo?
So I was looking for when I first started, I was trying to think of a name, but Chief, my last name is Chief, so I wanted to stick with that. And then my dad, Wally Chief, he's been drawing chief heads ever since high school, since he was in high school. So the first one he drew in high school, I asked if I could use that as my logo. That's where the main original chief head came from, was from my dad.
That's cool, because I was looking at it, it's like really detailed, and it makes sense because it's your dad's really detailed when he does his artwork and stuff like that. Your dad's really good handy with the art, the wood and the making stuff.
Yeah, yeah, he has a CNC machine, and he likes to use that, and it's been coming out, the tables he's been making, and coming out pretty good.
Do you work with a lot of wood too, or?
Not me, no, I don't really work with wood. Yeah, I normally just work with anything mechanical, but not wood, not for me.
I feel like that would probably fall under Nata. I feel like, because I mean, he used to make a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah, Nata, he pretty much did everything.
Hmm.
He made you a sword.
Yeah, yeah, I still have it.
Yeah, he made you a sword. I remember that night he was like, or actually the whole week he was like working on that thing,
Wow.
and like every day, and yeah, it came out pretty nice.
Yeah, I think my dad put it in the our living room space, so it's like right there on the over the fireplace.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. It's a nice sword. He also made, I think it was either him or Josh, also made me like a little bow, like a blue painted wood stick and with the bowstring.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I like that. Owning a business, was that something you always wanted to do, or did it just kind of come up on you? How did this all start?
Main reason why we came down to Phoenix was to look for work. I originally wanted to start a gym in Winter Rock or somewhere around there. I had an investor from Gallup, but the only place we could find at that time was at Mexican Hat.
Hmm.
And it's a little bit too far from, Winter Rock and Fort Defiance,
Yeah.
and I don't think a whole lot of people would like to drive that far.
And not a lot of traffic. But it is like right in between Arizona and what is it, Colorado? No, Utah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so owning my own business, I just saw the different, you get these major repairs like replacing an engine or replacing a transmission, or, these 20, 30-hour jobs that require a lot of work to be done on a vehicle. And then you finally complete it. It takes like, 3 days to like 5 days, depending on whatever it is. And you finally complete it. The customer takes the vehicle, and then you only get like 500 from
Oh, okay.
a
Okay.
$10,000, you know,
Yeah.
total.
Just like a small portion of what the overall cost was.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that was the main, that I think that was the main thing. And then also, as a automotive technician, you're working from 7 hour, pretty much 7 to 7 every day.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a lot of work on your body. It tears you down. And I also like to work out. So there was really no time for me to work out, only at lunch.
yeah.
And so, you're working in the morning, 7 to 12, lunch hours, maybe like, 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you go straight into working again another set 6, 7 more hours, and it's just a whole lot of working and your body being torn down and
Probably takes you away from your family too.
yeah, family time, and then also going to see, my parents and my
Mm.
grandparents,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so missing birthdays and holiday events and
yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, for me, I was a teacher for a bit, and I could always go back to that. I could see myself doing that, but I like the ability to kind of be my own boss. Determine my hours, determine my schedule. It's a lot more work in some areas, but I like it.
yeah, that's another thing too, because when you're owning your own business, you can talk to the customer, you can tell them exactly what's wrong with the vehicle instead of going through like the chain of writing down on a computer and then the computer tells the service advisor what's wrong with it. So then you're like playing like telephone,
Yeah. Oh wow, I never thought about that.
and so the service advisor sees what you written down and it's like, oh yeah, this is what's wrong. But with me being, the technician, the service advisor, the owner, I can tell the customer, this is exactly what's wrong with it. Or um, if they want to be even more detailed, I can bring the electrical schematic and show them where I can test, this has power, this has ground, the signal wire, there's no signal from here just because of, so such and such.
Yeah.
And so they understand when I do that, they can really understand and say, oh yeah, let's do the repair.
Yeah.
And it's helped me a lot with my business from doing that. And so when I get these jobs, bigger jobs, they understand, it takes a while because it's just me, but
Yeah.
the quality of repair is,
Yeah, full comprehension of everything that's within the vehicle.
yeah.
Do you ever see yourself expanding to get employees one day?
Maybe like a helper or maybe like maybe another technician. I do sometimes I hire Josh, my brother, since he's pretty mechanically inclined. So I normally ask him to help me every now and then, and that's as far as I've had with help. But some of these bigger jobs, sometimes I get a lot of jobs to where it's like, I do need someone and I really think about it. I've looked through, the paperwork because, I don't want to, do anything that's
Sketchy.
sketchy or, like unlawfully.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I've talked with ADP, which is like a W-2 company where they give out hourly and salary.
yeah,
But yeah, I have thought about it, but probably not right now.
yeah, yeah. You're only on year two though, so
Yeah,
year two, yeah. I mean, I'm less than a year, and for me, it'd be nice to have like I was telling my other friend, like having an assistant, to carry the stuff, carry the stuff, take care of the phone calls and text messages, and the dates and the time and all of that. So,
yeah.
I was looking on your Facebook page and also your website. You mentioned a couple times that you're a Christian veteran and Navajo-owned business. Why is that important to make that known? What would you say?
So I put those on my website and pretty much everywhere on social media because when I was 6 years old, I got saved at my grandpa's church in Cedar Ridge. Grew up with going to church and going to summer camps. My walk with Jesus. It's always been there, and it's just part of me, which is Chief Sawed Service is part of me also.
Mm,
And then with being a veteran, I think it's those 5 years of me being in the Navy has really changed me because you go everywhere. Afghanistan to Guam to Africa, South Africa. and you see different walks of life.
Your family's a big on the military too, right? I mean, you got your sister, your brother, and your dad too. Have
Yeah.
also joined the armed forces.
Yeah, so my dad, he was in the Navy. He was in the submarines, torpedoman. Shauna, she was LS, which is logistics in the Marine Corps. Not he's a welder in the Marine Corps.
He's yeah, he's still on what's it called? What's it called when they're out?
Well, right now he's stationed. He's
Yeah,
stationed.
stationed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's stationed in Japan.
nice. And so like, why would you say it is important? You know, I guess you say you dived a little bit in the Christianity aspect, a little bit in the veteran, but why Navajo? Why also Navajo?
Yeah, so for Navajo, I think that's a huge part also because growing up on the Navajo reservation, it's a different way of living because you have to haul water. Or when we were growing up, back then we had to haul water. There wasn't available electricity, so we would have to, get gas for our generators or propane for our lamps and things of that nature to where, being out here in Phoenix, you just flip a switch on and
Oh yeah,
the light's right there. You just turn the water on. You have water. You have hot water, because
yeah,
being out in like Cedar Ridge, Black Mesa, Hard Rock, those places, you have to heat up your water. You have to boil your water if you want, hot water.
hmm.
It's just a different way of living. And
I'm sure there are some aspects that you do miss from the res life.
yeah, I like how it's a lot quieter and you can like, go outside and,
Yeah.
but I think that's the main thing that I would say for being Navajo, because it's a little bit harder doing all that and, getting your groceries and stuff like that
Yeah.
and very quiet and
You guys got a nice house though. It's nice and spacious.
mhm.
I remember I was living in Albuquerque. I was in an apartment. It wasn't too small, but it was just like a one bedroom apartment. But when you live in an apartment complex, you got neighbors on the left hand side that's right next to the wall that share the same wall. Neighbors in the front on the other side, neighbors in the back, and neighbors on top. It's just like I felt really, like caged in. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't
Yeah,
really boxed in, so it wasn't really my cup of tea. So, but a house, I think a house. I mean, you guys have a front yard and a backyard, and
yeah. Before we got the house, we were living in closer to Arrowhead, and we're living in an apartment over there, and yeah, we had neighbors up, the left and right of us, below us,
oh yeah,
and it was. I feel like it was pretty loud all the time,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then going outside, there's people walking around, and
You've also, posted John chapter 3 verse 17 on your website and other places. Why is that important to you, and why is that important, do you think, for the company?
to me, this verse it's saying that God didn't send His Son to condemn the world, but believing Jesus, we can be saved and have the gift of eternal life. And a lot of people they see that verse and they say, "Oh, you meant John 3:16," and I was
Mm.
like, "Yeah." John 3:16, most people know John 3:16 and for God to love the world that he gave his only begotten son that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Most people know that one, but they don't go and read John 3:17. That's why I put John 3:17 down.
And that's probably something you want, I would assume, that holds the value of your upbringing and your poor morals, I guess, would fall under, right?
Yes.
Now you've done this for 2 years now, and I'm assuming you're gonna probably keep doing this for who knows how long in the foreseeable future. Within these past 2 years, what are some of the things that you've learned? What are some of the things that you wish that you would have done differently? What do you plan to implement, moving forward?
So I think the one thing that anybody should learn first before they open a business is I would say
Hmm.
business banking and keeping your records. Doesn't seem like a huge thing, but having that business banking and records because a lot of like if you were to start off with if you want to get like an extra amount of set of loan or set amount of money to expand or buy equipment or just working capital or anything like that from a bank, they always ask, can we see your statements? Can we see your records of, you know, how you're operating? And that plays a big part of you getting the loan or not getting the loan.
Mm,
And also knowing that part, the banking and the records, that helps a lot with your taxes at the end.
yeah. Yeah.
Even if you have someone that, you know, you pay for to, you know, to take care of your taxes and everything like that, I think it would be best for you to actually, you know that part.
Yeah, no, that's good because like my dad's an accountant and my brother does accounting stuff too, so that helps a lot on my end.
Yeah.
So, but it is, yeah, I agree with that.
And also another thing that I would say is make sure you're making profit on your
Mm,
business
yeah,
and don't sell yourself too short. A lot of people they want the quality and then also the cheapest price.
yeah, yeah,
And I would say keep your price where it is. You might lose some customers, but you know, the people that value your work will stick with you. And then those people that value your work will tell their friends or family members, and then it'll, you know, eventually.
yeah. No, that's good. You know, knowing your value and knowing your you know, having that confidence to, you know, stay to that set of like pricing that you've already instilled,
Yeah.
and knowing because you know your quality, you know your skills, you know what you bring to the table. It's almost like kind of cutting off the outside voices of what people say. Oh, I think it should be this price or it should be this much. You know.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any final words or you know, statements for anyone that's interested, you know, going into starting their own business or maybe starting into auto mechanics?
Yeah, for anybody that wants to start, it's like an automotive job or to get into automotive or a business or even just want to work as an automotive technician or as a lube tech or something like that. The biggest thing is being honest with your work. Being honest gets customers in. And being trustworthy is a big thing. And being genuine with your business also, being genuine by who you are, and then torque specs.
Mm.
So, you know, torquing down bolts and nuts doesn't seem like a lot, but you know, these car manufacturers, they put the torque specs for a reason. And then another big thing is tools, because these automotive tools, you know, just a socket set from Matco, Snap-on, you know, it can be like $500. So, you know, tools are a big thing. And if you don't want to pay for tools, because it may be $500, but if something breaks, you know, they can warranty it out.
Yeah.
But a lot of tools, especially in the automotive business, they're pretty expensive, and that's one thing I would say. If you're looking into doing anything automotive, the tools are expensive.
And I'm assuming you probably go through loans with that, or how would you say that you the best way to I guess, you know, maybe just save up then, or
Yeah, so most of these tool trucks, they give you like a credit. So like so if you want to buy like a ratchet, like a half-inch ratchet, and it costs maybe like $400. So you say, "Oh yeah, you know, I want that ratchet and I'll pay like, I don't know, let's say $100 today."
mm,
So these tool trucks, they come around every week. So you give them, you know, $100 next week or $50 next week or 20, or depending on how you guys set it up. But it's always, you know, you're paying it week
yeah.
by week.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Eric. I really appreciate that. Yeah. How can we get in contact with you if we need services with Chief Auto Service? What's the best way?
So you can contact me through either Facebook, Instagram, or even go through my website, which is Chief's Auto Service, or you can go through my phone number, which is 505-409-9656, and just text or call me. Then I can get to you as soon as I can.
Okay, sweet. Thank you, Eric. Yetelt Media is a marketing through podcast platform that utilizes conversations to promote opportunity exposure. If you have a business, product, or an idea that you wish to share, contact us at www.whatislife.blog or message us through a social media platform to be a guest on our show.